time again, the guitar's right, my friends are in the barnyard. Grab a bell or grab a stool, we're gonna pick a bit and sing a few in the barnyard. People of all music kind, come on in because it's time. It don't matter what's your style, it don't matter who you are. You may be the next big star in the barnyard.
Welcome to the Barnyard Jamboree. I'm Kenny Dean, your host, but our guest tonight, Mr. Tim Atwood. Don't go anywhere. That's all I'm going to say. Mr. Tim Atwood. We'll be right back.
Here's an old song Nat King Cole did, and Asleep at the Wheel had a big hit on it as well. That's one of my favorites, Route 66. Plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks Route 66, but it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks Route 66. It goes to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, that's mighty pretty, you will see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flags of Arizona. Now don't forget Winona, that's Kingsman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this kind of tip when you make that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, that's mighty pretty, USC. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flags of Arizona. Don't forget Winona, there's Kingsman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this kind of tip when you make that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Here's a song that I found. Tia Goins is a great country singer, and she had this song on her CD, and I said, I really want to do that song. She said, as long as you give me a shout out before you do it, that would be fine. But this is a song called Just Because She Always Has Doesn't Mean She Always Will. There's no supper on the table. She's probably running late. So just pour yourself a drink. You're gonna have to wait. Take off that dirty shirt, throw it on the floor. She'll pick it up when she gets home. she always has before. Just because she always has doesn't mean she always will. Can you imagine life without her? Wait a minute, did you just get a chill? She's been your rock, said she'd always stand by you till time stands still. Just because she always has doesn't mean she always will. Oh, you're proud of the fact you've never raised your hand. And you can look her in the eye and say you've never had a one-night stand. She's always overlooked the things you never meant to say. Even when you were wrong, she let you have your way. But just because she always has doesn't mean she always will. Can you imagine life without her? Wait a minute, did you just get a chill? She's been your rock, said she'd always stand by you till time stands still. Just because she always has doesn't mean she always will. She might be on a plane miles away by now, but that don't make no sense. She's always called you, worked it out. Have you ever stopped to think about just what you might do if you came home one night and she stopped loving you? Just because she always has doesn't mean she always will. Can you imagine life without her? Wait a minute, did you just get a chill? She's been your rock, said she'd always stand by you till time stands still. Just because she always has doesn't mean she always will.
Sometimes you have to wait a long time before you really get to sit down and talk with somebody, and that's the way it is with our guest in the Barnyard Jamboree, Mr. Tim Atwood.
Good to see you, Ken.
Man, this 5 minutes ain't gonna be near enough time for us to do our talking. It's just with everything you've done with your career. I mean, I'm sure folks always talk about doing the Grand Ole Opry all those years.
Yeah.
Let's don't even mention that right.
Okay.
Let's don't even mention that right
All
now.
right.
What you're doing right now is what you love. It's still carrying on music.
Yeah, I guess what my deal was, I mean, I watched at the Opry. I mean, I watched Jimmy Dickens. I watched Porter Wagoner and Jeannie Seeley, and they're entertainers. And that's kind of where I always wanted to be an entertainer. I keep telling everybody, I've looked at so many people's backside, it's time for them to look at mine for a while.
Did you ever think you'd wind up with Jeannie Seeley as far as doing work with her like you're doing right now?
You know what? Jeannie and I have been friends for, many years. I used to work a single gig over in south of Nashville, and she would drive from Hendersonville. She'd drive 45 minutes to an hour, and she'd come over and watch me do my single.
Wow.
And so we were instant friends. I mean, when we first met, it was just like a connection. And now we're going out doing these shows, just intimate concerts, me and her and the piano, and it is a scream.
Do y'all, I wouldn't think that y'all had a plan when you sat down at that piano and her right there with you.
No.
Y'all just run with it.
Well, we do. I mean, she's got an idea what we're going to do or whatever she wants to do. But, I mean, it's not one of those things, it's never scripted. Every show's different. That's what makes it fun because you never know what she's going to say and she never knows what I'm going to say.
You got to be on your toes.
Oh, yeah, man. You better be paying attention.
But I think about Roxanne, your lovely wife, she is so organized. Does that just absolutely drive her crazy, the way y'all do things?
Well, it does a little bit. She is very organized. She's the most organized person I've ever met. She produced segments and stuff on TNN when it was on the air, and she's done a lot of TV. She was an anchor woman in the Dallas-Fort Worth area when she was like 21 years old. But she's very, very talented. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't get what I got.
You got to have that right now.
Amen.
I mean, you're out there,
Amen.
you're getting all this information as far as her, you got to do your thing, and that's at the keyboard. And she's got to do her thing, and that's on social media.
Right.
That's wherever to get you out there. And you're going all over the place right now.
I told her, I said, when we started doing this, I said, I want to play and I want to sing, and everything else is yours. I said, I don't want to do anything else but play and sing.
Great chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
She's got a great product, and that product is Tim Atwood, and let her do her thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you just sit down and play.
Yep.
Who taught you how to play?
I got to be honest. I started as a drummer when I was 6.
Really?
And then
6.
And then I figured out for my 7th Christmas, I got a guitar, a little plastic guitar, and I could tune it by ear because my dad was a guitar player. So he freaked out. I'm 7 years old, and I can tune it by ear.
Wow.
And then somebody needed a bass player, so I got to working with a gospel group out of Peoria. It was a family group. I played bass, and the piano player in that group showed me how to do that Floyd Kramer bent note thing.
Wow.
And that's the only thing I've ever been taught. I mean, God just gave me this gift. I mean, I said, and piano was my instrument. I went, this makes sense to me. It's all black and white. I can see it. I don't have to think like you do on a guitar or a bass.
Do you play much guitar or
I
bass?
can play. Oh yeah, I can play a little bit of it. Just about anything.
You still play drums much?
No, I got a son that's wearing it out in Nashville though. He's doing great.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't think folks realize how much work goes on behind the scene to get ready for a show. The traveling and all that. When you sit down and play, that's the fun part. There's a lot of work that goes on behind that.
Yeah. When I first moved to town, I went to work with a guy named Mel Street. Wow. That was my first job when I moved to town. And then I went to work with Jim Ed Brown and Helen Cornelius. And then I worked with Lynn Anderson for a short time on the road. But I always considered myself a professional bus rider because you'd spend hours and hours and get out there and do an hour and a half show. And then all of a sudden, man, you're back on the bus riding again.
Load up.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to have to do right now. We're fixing to have to load up. I told you this wasn't going to be enough time. And well, Tim Atwood, thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you for coming in here and doing the
bet.
Barnyard
You
Jamboree.
bet.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I heard him say on the radio, they're gonna take the 10 Commandments from the courthouse lawn, and some others say that they have the right to burn our country's flag. The list goes on and on. Guess I'll have to say I'm tired of all this liberality. We need the backbone to stand up, say no. But it'll have to start with me. I'll tell them that I don't agree. Yeah, I'm gonna let them know, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. I'll tell them I believe in the Bible and what it says is true. And I'm thankful for the ones who died for the old, red, white, and blue. When they try and take my rights away, I'll proudly stand and tell them no, it ain't gonna happen, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. On every monument in Washington, words are inscribed of God and country, things they weren't ashamed to say. Have you ever thought of the price we pay to defend our country's freedom? They can't take that away. Guess I'll have to say I'm tired of all this liberality. We need the backbone to stand up and say no. It'll have to start with me. I'll tell them that I don't agree. Yeah, I'm gonna let them know, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. Tell them I believe in the Bible and what it says is true. And I'm thankful for the ones who died for the old, red, white, and blue. When they try and take my rights away, I'll proudly stand and tell them no, it ain't gonna happen, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. Tell them I believe in the Bible and what it says is true. And I'm thankful for the ones who died for the old, red, white, and blue. When they try and take my rights away, I'll proudly stand and tell them no, it ain't gonna happen, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. It ain't gonna happen, 'cause I'll stand up and say so. Here's an old song. My father-in-law, Bobby Burt, my wife is Roxanne. Her dad asked me to sing this song at his funeral. Now, we were in a little funeral home in Brookhaven, Mississippi. This funeral home had 2 other funerals going on, but my father-in-law requested this song. So I did this especially for him. But we had all the other people coming in going, what's going on in there? But he requested this song. It's an old Mickey Gilley song. Just imagine this funeral home being real quiet and this happening. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Well, the girls all get prettier at closing at a time. Now they all began to look like movie stars. Now the girls all get prettier at close of time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels of the Backstreet Boy. If I could rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, looking for a 9, but 8 could work right in. A few more drinks and I might slip to 5 or even 4. When tomorrow morning comes, I wake up with a number 1. Swear I'll never do it anymore. The girls all get prettier at close of time. Now they all begin to look like movie stars. The girls all get prettier at close of time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels of the Backstreet Boy. I don't mean to criticize the girls at all, 'cause I know Robert Redford even overhauls. We all picture in our minds a girl that looks just right. But ain't it funny, ain't it strange, the way a man's opinions change when he starts to face that lonely night. The girls all get prettier at close of time. They all begin to look like movie stars. The girls all get prettier at close of time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels of the Backstreet Boy. Of the fallen angels of the Backstreet Boy.
Really do appreciate you taking your time to be with us again, and what a great gift we had, and that gift was a God-given gift that Tim. Let me start over. All I'm going to say is thank y'all so much for being with us, and we'll be right back. Bye. We'll see you next week.
Well, come on, folks, it's time again. The guitars are out, my friends are in the barnyard. Grab a bell or grab a stool, we're gonna pick a bit and sing a few in the barnyard. People of all music kind, come on in because it's time.